Jason Johnson and TaraSetmayer are back with us.
Tara, we bumped in with sound of the vice president talking about reproductive care, an issue that, of course, resonates with women, but also men. SENECA Project has put out a new ad appealing directly to men on this question. Take a look.
It wasn't easy getting here. The loss, the heartbreak. My wife is tough, resilient. She said, we'll just keep trying. I didn't know much about IVF until we needed it. There were moments when all hope felt lost. But we finally got our miracle. From the moment I held her, I vowed to protect her. If it were up to Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, our little girl wouldn't even exist.
Whew. Tell me about the research that went into that ad, Tara.
Yes, thank you for playing it. That ad is called Hope. And we saw research that showed one of the most persuadable relationships is between dads and daughters. And that was inspired by one of my students at Harvard when I was up there a couple years ago as a fellow, talking about her relationship with her dad, who was a big Republican, and she was in the military. And she said, you know, Dad, how could you want this man to be my commander in chief? And how could you vote for him? And she was in tears over it. And he ended up not voting for Donald Trump because he realized what the impact was with his daughter. With the IVF issue, we saw that there was research that showed that the millennial dads in particular were very uncomfortable with the way Donald Trump and the MAGA movement has treated women, the fact that rights have been taken away, and they don't want their daughters growing up in a country where they had less rights than their grandmother. And when IVF came under scrutiny and the attacks on IVF and how MAGA was all over the place on this issue, we said, you know, who's talking to the dads out there about how their families are made and who's to determine how they have their families? How dare they? And so we decided, and I don't think there's been any other organization that's actually done this, speaking to girl dads in these swing states in particular about this, because the wives don't go through this by themselves. The moms don't go through this by themselves. And the dads are very frustrated with the attack that Donald Trump and MAGA and coming after them and their families and their inability to protect their daughters if these people are in power. So we are... And recently, you've seen a lot of stories come out about this, about the girl-dad relationship and how powerful it is. It's more persuadable than any other, than wives, than siblings. And so when elections are this close, it's important for dads and for men out there, because we know that the gender gap is historic at this point. It's anywhere between 14 to 26%. And that gender gap, and women are looking at abortion and reproductive rights and our freedoms and our lives literally on the line. But now it's time for the men to step up and realize that their vote impacts the lives of the women in their life also. And what are they going to do? Are they going to make that decision to protect the lives of their daughters, of their wives, of their sisters, of their mothers? Or are they going to fall down this trap of this broocracy that Donald Trump is out here trying to push, and this toxic masculinity that could impact the lives of their daughters and their families?
A very different definition of strength. Dr. Jason Johnson, TaraSetmayer, thank you both so much for getting us started.